joined today by Carien Spagnuolo, Head of Sales and Marketing at Clean TeQ Water. Carien, thanks for your time.
Thank you for your time.
A range of proprietary technologies. What are they and what are they used for?
Yeah, so we essentially have two major technology platforms. The first one is our moving bed ion exchange technology. It's a technology that essentially enables improved recovery of value metals. It enables cost-effective and sustainable water recovery, particularly for industrial and mining wastewater. And then we have our ATA technology, which is a tailings dewatering technology, also proprietary, that enables a cost-effective pathway to filtration and dry stacking of tailings, so moving away from conventional wet tailings management.
You've been able to secure some significant contracts with tier one mining companies, Rio Tinto, for example, a $19 million contract there. How does it go in bedding in with these types of businesses and then expanding that footprint with them once you're in?
Yeah, so the contract that we've secured with Rio Tinto, I think, is quite a significant one for us, the biggest one for us to date. And we essentially what we've done with that project is we work with the customer over a long period. So it's a journey that we take. We've worked with them from the engineering services through to execution of the project, and it's quite a significant endorsement for our moving bed ion exchange platform to be working with someone like Rio Tinto. And this is for their Rincon project in Argentina. What we'll be doing there is we are removing impurities from their lithium and really reducing lithium losses, but also improving the water consumption for that site. And this project was also a great example of how we stack up against the competition. Our proprietary technology measured against the conventional technology and really came out on top. And working with someone like Rio Tinto is really a major validation for our technology.
Your Phosphix technology, which is now in full-scale operation within a pharmaceuticals company in Europe. Can you talk to what this technology does and why it is so effective?
Yeah, so I mean, phosphate is a major challenge, particularly in industrial markets in Europe and North America. Um, Phosphate discharge into waterways causes algal blooms, and that's why you see this tightening of discharge regulations in markets like Europe. And for an end user that is like a pharma type end user, it's important for them to meet those discharge limits. But what we do is with our technology is we're able to get down to these very low phosphate levels. That's the new discharge regulations. But we're also recovering the phosphate as a valuable byproduct. So we produce a material that is essentially phosphate-based fertilizer. So we're treating the water, but also valorizing the value of the phosphate. So our waste is actually a valuable byproduct. And so that's what we're doing for that project in Ireland with a pharma producer.
Moving across to graphene, your graphene membrane desalination technology has advanced to the semi-final stage of a major competition. Can you talk about the competition itself and why getting as far as you have and hopefully further will validate this technology?
Yeah, so we've been moved on as a semi-finalist in the X Prize competition. It's a major global competition. It's one of the competitions that actually set up the SpaceX program, inspired the SpaceX program. And it's one of those competitions that really encourages innovation on all levels. What Clean TeQ does is we also innovate. It's kind of at the core of what we do. And so our graphene membrane technology is essentially enabling cost-effective desalination. We're coating graphene onto an existing seawater desalination membrane. And that's what's enabled us to get to the semi-final stage for X Prize. It's a major prize pot, $8 million. And it's also just another great validation for Clean TeQ and the innovation that we kind of at the core of what we do.
One thing investors wouldn't have missed over the last 12 months is the stock is up more than 130%, which is a fantastic outcome for investors. What do you think is driving that significant re-rate in the share price?
Yeah, so I mean, we're a technology company, right? So when it comes to technology, it's really about validation, and that's what's happened over the past year. We've been innovating and developing this technology for a number of years, but what's happened over the last year or so is we've really had commercial validation. So commercial validation by tier one customers like Rio Tinto, Neostar. We're developing a project for them in Belgium at their large zinc smelter there. And so I think the journey from uh, essentially technology validation, which we've done, to commercial validation and getting from piloting and lab scale to now having multiple full scale plants, so proven at commercial scale, that's what the market is seeing. And then we have this, significant pipeline of upside opportunities, and that's the market is seeing that as well. And the opportunity to really replicate what we're doing within an ecosystem like Rio Tinto, Neostar, the pharma world in Europe, that's really what's driving that re-rate.
Clearly a technology company building solutions using your technology, but does licensing become a feature of the business moving forward?
Yeah, so that's one of our strategies going forward in terms of growth. Um, we've always been kind of a project by project based company, and that was part of our strategy to get commercial validation and get full scale systems up and running. But what we're looking towards now is leveraging our IP and scaling via licensing. So we're doing that for our project with Broken Hill Mines, for example. We have licensing fee coming in from that, but also in terms of just scaling into major markets like Europe and the Middle East and North America. We're looking towards working with partnerships where we can execute via manufacturing on a licensing. And so that just gives us the ability to grow quite significantly as a true technology company.
A clear move from technical to commercial validation, well embedded and in expanding a footprint with tier one operators globally. Exciting times ahead for Clean TeQ and its shareholders. Carien, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.